Students are heading back to class, and that means they're going to need some lunch.
If you plan on packing it yourself, we have some ideas. Newswatch 16's Nikki Krize live with an expert in Lackawanna County. Good morning, Nikki.
Well, John and Mindy, you both know how picky kids can be, especially when it comes to food. And, when it comes to school lunches, it can be pretty difficult to switch things up a bit. And that's what we're trying to do today, kind of switch things up a bit. Amanda Gordonier is a registered dietitian. So Amanda, how can we do that?
Yeah, when it comes to school lunch, we really want to try and make things as simple as possible. My Plate is a great recommendation for how we can structure our plate. It tells us what to put on our plate and how much. So it's a great source for us to quickly see and kind of check off, are we meeting our needs in terms of the nutrition that we want to see for ourselves as adults and for our kids in school lunch.
Something that you had said to me a little bit earlier was that the best way to do this is to get the kids involved.
Definitely. The more we can involve our kids in choosing their foods and also preparing foods with us, the more likely they actually are to eat those foods. So one way we can get kids involved in choosing their school lunches is by making lists of foods that they like. So we can say, all right, here we're looking at what we want to make for lunch today. What options would you like to choose? And over here I have an example of just how different foods can come together to create a complete meal. When it comes to My Plate, we want to get at least 3 food groups to make a meal. But if we get all 5, that's even better. Each food group has its own nutrients that help us to stay healthy and be energized throughout the day.
Something like this meal over here, just looking at it, it doesn't really look like it would be a lunch, but it is.
Yes, what I was saying to Nikki before is, it doesn't have to all come together to make sense as a meal together, like mixing the egg and the crackers and cucumber. That would be strange. But if we choose foods from each of those My Plate food categories and we include them in lunch, our kids can kind of pick at each food, and that is a complete and nutritious meal.
I love that. So we're gonna have lots more tips coming up all morning here on Newswatch 16 this morning. John and Mindy, back to you.
Some good options and good things to think about, Nikki. Thank you.
And those fresh foods looked yummy. All right, thanks, Nikki.